going on, man? Thank
What's
you for
up,
having me on
Justus?
your show, bro. Yeah, let's you want to talk some football?
Hell
Did
yeah,
you, did
man.
you see what happened today? They signed Jameson Crowder.
They're going crazy.
Like, looking at our offense now, um, obviously Josh Allen at the helm. Then you have a very capable backup in Case Keenum. Then you have a very positive locker room presence and a positive presence for the city as your third string in Matt Barkley. Your running back room. Excuse me, the cupboard's a little bare, but that's nothing that can't be fixed in you know um, the draft or even the second wave of free agency. Um, you know, the wide receiver room, obviously, you got Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis and Jameson Crowder and Isaiah McKenzie and Isaiah Hodgins, and that doesn't even count the rookie that'll probably come in as well.
Yeah.
Tight end room, you got Dawson Knox and OJ Howard, who are basically two really good blocking wide receivers. I'm pretty sure Tommy Sweeney's going to come back, probably practice squad development type of guy. Reggie Gilliam at fullback. And what do you think of this offense?
I mean, replacing Manuel Sanders, previous year John Brown, Crowder should be a nice addition. That's pretty big news. Even without Beasley, I'm liking this receiving core. I think the quarterback room is probably even better than last year with Barkley and Keenum. That's three steady guys that can play if they needed to. If God forbid Allen went down, but all they really need to focus on to me is maybe a late round wide receiver, running back if they can after a corner in the first. It's looking like corner in the first to me now, with everything they've done. But man, that offense, it's going to be scary.
Okay, so let's kind of stick with the draft then. If you say corner in the first, is this like I'm sticking to 25? Is this I'm trading back? Obviously, probably not trading back, but would you be like, okay, let's trade up to go get a corner?
Yeah, this team, right? There's only so many spots. They keep signing talented free agents. How many rookies are really going to start on this team? You even look at Russo last year; he didn't get as many downs as you'd think he'd get in the beginning of the year. Go past the third, fourth round, it's going to be tough for those guys to even make the team probably with this kind of roster. So I say trade a few late round picks and move up if you can. Throw a player in there if it's not essential, but I wouldn't put it past Bean to move up to get a better corner if it's possible. That's what I'd like to see. This is the year. This is the year to do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been saying that. I agree with you. This roster is as complete as a roster can be. A lot of times. And last year we were in the same predicament. I look at it and I go, all right. I think this is the time. People always talking about being how he hoards picks and whatnot. And that was to do what he did, which was fill out a roster with very talented players because they're master scouting, at scouting. So, as of now, I feel like your best course of action is to package those late round, players that probably won't be of any use to you, on your roster and go get, superior talent, and even if you see a guy who, hey, I think, our scouting team loves this guy and he's going to be a great developmental piece. You can still use next year, picks to maybe move or whatever. Because you're, also not to mention your first round pick is even going to be a second round pick for the majority of these years. You know what I mean? So you're never going to get the top of the draft talent if you are where you want to be. So sometimes you're going to have to, sacrifice a little something to go ahead and get those guys that have that, type of talent. So I think this is a great year to do that. Not to mention you get an extra year, a fifth year, with the option for the rookie, first round rookie. So that's what I feel like you should do. What do you think? So you say quarterback first round. where do you think they should go, like in the second round, if they
Well,
don't
that's the
trade
thing,
back
man. I mean, being so good at those second, third, and fourth round picks, you look at Gabe Davis, Milano. I mean, those are like fourth, fifth round picks. Maybe Taron Johnson. Like half their people we love in Buffalo are from past the third round at least. So yeah, I mean, to me, jumping in first to the corner in the top 20 or something might be something they want to do, and then probably running back. What about you?
So you think running back in the second round?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I completely agree with you. I've been saying that as well. I feel like if you don't get a wide receiver, that's fine. But I feel like you do need at least one more like ultra talented offensive player, just to have as like a safety net.
Yeah, look at KC. I mean,
Obviously, yeah, exactly. Perfect example. You look at Stephon Diggs, obviously, that is your supreme offensive weapon that's not named Josh Allen, right? He's as close to as you getting to Josh Allen with talent on this team. If Josh Allen is an A plus talent, Stephon Diggs is an A talent. You know what I mean? So then you look at Gabriel Davis, who is probably probably more talented than we believe right now, but I think we still need to see it on a consistent basis. I think he's really talented. It's just that I don't know. It's kind of like Juju, right? When AD was there, oh, Juju was the man, and it was like, oh, he can absolutely be a number one receiver. But then as
right.
soon as they be left, he was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Gabriel Davis is that, but it's that kind of situation that gives you the fear. Like, is he
Right.
good because he's playing with a supreme talent, or
Yeah.
is he good in his own right? Which I think he's good. We'll see. We'll see where he is.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, Diggs
then
has taken off so much of the top for him. You don't know until he's the number one guy. That's so true.
yeah, absolutely. Then you got Isaiah McKenzie. Um, I personally feel like the offense works a lot better. It's a lot smoother when he's in the game. I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
it gets into a rhythm a lot quicker, and they go right down the field. The energy is higher. I just feel like he does a lot for the offense. When he leaves the game, it seems like everybody's a lot more stiff, more rigid,
Right.
like. And then that's when bad plays happen. It's just weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like thinking too much into it, but
No, you're hitting all my Bills vibes, man. I mean, the thing that bothered me the most last year was why the hell aren't they playing? I mean, everyone said this. Why aren't they playing Gabe Davis more? They score a touchdown when he's on the field. They got Dawson Knox involved like they needed to, but man, other than Von Miller, McKenzie was definitely my favorite signing of the offseason. I mean, I was so happy when he was back. I was ready to say goodbye to Beasley. No yak yards. Love him, but it was the off the field stuff and just kind of falling down when he catches the ball. I mean, I love what he did for the team, but I mean, you look at Isaiah McKenzie, he's like a little Tyreek Hill Jr. Um, so I mean, he's going to be essential too. I mean, you add Crowder into that mix, and that's a strong four of two guys we kind of just brought up our own, and that's exciting. So I mean, Isaiah
agreed.
to me is the heart of the team. So him and Trey, so glad we got him back for sure.
Absolutely. He's just perfectly encompassed with what Isaiah McKenzie means to the team. I think he is about as essential as a player as a non-essential gets. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Him, you spoke to Jameson Crowder. Now that's really good for. Um,
Yeah.
on top of all of their talent being multiplied because you have Josh Allen at quarterback who can break the play and create new things. You know what I mean? So, and not only that, but we also missing the Dawson Knox and OJ Howard, who are two huge. They're they're all but wide receivers. They're basically wide receivers.
Yeah.
But they both can block pretty well, and they're both huge, and super athletic. So man, so you look at here's how I think about it, right? You look at the divisional playoff game. They were putting so much emphasis on Stephon Diggs, and probably a little more emphasis on Cole Beasley as well. And Gabriel Davis was able to take advantage of it so like thoroughly.
Yeah.
It's like you get that and then a lot more talent right behind him because like if he isn't able to take advantage of it, somebody will be,
Right.
and also I'm a really big fan of Devin Singletary, so I like him out of the backfield as well. I think
Yeah.
second round, if we were to draft a running back, I would be perfectly fine with that because I don't like the whole committee running back thing when
Yeah.
I feel like Devin Singletary is outright clearly the better back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's
Hmm.
like every time Singletary is in the game, if the line is even decent, we get some production.
Right.
But then other guys come in and it kind of ruins the vibe and the tempo. I just rather get a character Devin Singletary unless there was an actual back who was as good as him, like a Brees Hall. I love Brees Hall. Boy's fast, he's shifty, he can catch,
Yeah.
and I think being able to catch out of the backfield is obviously very important in his offense. So when I say that's why I want a playmaker, in the first couple of rounds because I feel like they can take this team to an even new level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That running game, man. All year, people are like, what are they doing with the running game? It's not going to work. Like, just scrap it. Are they being a little more conservative on play calling because they want to be ready for the end of the season? I don't know what it was, but the last quarter of that season, man, Singletary has been our best running back since McCoy. And before that, I don't know, Antoine Smith, Thurman. Like, he looked legit. Like, I was seeing flashes of Thurman Thomas in the last month of the season in the playoffs. So the rise he had this year, I mean, that's essential. And if Josh gets more comfortable with him, throwing to him, getting a running back, yeah, I mean, you hear some people say like a power back to complement him, but I mean, Motor's pretty stout. Like he's not a pushover. Like he can do some power moves, some power stuff. He's a smaller dude, but yeah, I'd rather see him go with a playmaker kind of McKissick type. Maybe in the draft if they have to. It's looking that way now that receiver is more covered than running back. But yeah, man, I
Were
mean,
you
just
upset when McKissick like kind of shifted that?
I mean, here in today and the last week, I mean, it seemed like it McKissick wanted to stay and Washington was just jerking around and then oh yeah, your agent didn't tell us we were gonna make an offer. We didn't even know you were gonna sign. So yeah, we'll match it. Like just kind of threw it out the window. Like I don't know. That's just sounds like bad management. Bean looked pissed. So that was definitely weird to say the least. But yeah, I mean he would have been a great piece. So another thing it does is it shows what Bean was trying to do. And I think that's what made him so mad. But I mean he's like the mystery team in all the free agent rumors going on, and there's a mystery team for Von Miller. Like he's smart, he doesn't want to show his hands, so I mean I'm sure that
Right.
was doubled down to aggravate him. But yeah, at least we got Singletary. I don't know what they're gonna do with Moss, but I don't dislike Moss, but yeah, more of a playmaker, receiving type wide receiver is going to be clutch for this offense.
Yeah, and you just spoke to it. Hearing Bean speak, it kind of is like it's kind of like heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? It's kind of like people look at him like he's a superior GM now, and people are like taking advantage of him in the market for players. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, for instance, he says that the reason he's the surprise team is because a lot of times people will use the Buffalo Bills as leverage. Like, hey, the Bills are giving me this. You need to at
hmm,
least give me, you know what I mean? And then, it's like, oh, wow, like, now you're just going back there and you used us as a tool to get more money, you
yeah,
know? But it's, and then you also, hear him speak about like, I like even the Washington situation. It was probably a situation like, oh wow, the Bills want him.
exactly. They don't trust themselves,
Like,
but they trust
yeah,
they trust Brandon Bean more
right.
than they trust themselves. Yeah,
it's kind of like the Bill Belichick effect, where it's like, oh wait, if Bill Belichick wants something, maybe we could use him. You know,
Yeah,
maybe we just have to find a better way to whatever. But I think Bean is at that point where he's so high regarded that it almost becomes its own type of disadvantage. Sometimes.
yeah,
But I mean, it's good problems to have. You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
mean, that we're talking like this is still insane. For Bills fans, it's been 4 or 5 years of winning now, and it's still like, damn,
It's
got the
fresh
best GM.
and it like flips so suddenly.
I know.
It's just like 5 years ago, bro. We were begging for the playoffs, and now we're like, we literally like can taste the championship. Like this is nuts. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I hope
it's
we don't get
absolutely
spoiled
crazy.
with it. I remember in the '90s when I was a kid, man, people getting spoiled with the '90s Bills. Like the wild card game wasn't a sellout because it was a wild card game. Like, and you look
Wow.
at this Patriot. Yeah, no, it was radio only. I remember like sitting in my tub, like just my clothes on, like walking back and forth, like as a kid, just listening to that game, because it wasn't on TV. Like, could you imagine that now? Like compared to that Patriots game, was just totally different
Right.
world. So I hope we don't
Absolutely.
ever get greedy.
Yeah, man, you got a point. Honestly, I never thought about it like that because I don't know. I just kind of assume we're going to be like gods in the AFC because we have Josh Allen for another decade and a half. But you got a point. You never kind of want to get too high because the Browns could happen. You know what I mean? Like just the
Yeah.
situation where your team just completely implodes.
Or just yeah,
So
like
that
I mean, Patriots fans, like you just expect to win and win and win, and you're not really. It's not as gratifying after a while. Like I feel like
yeah,
not have won winning a championship for this franchise like brings it adds to this journey and the chase of it and the connection to it that it's going to make it so much sweeter, obviously, but it won't be the same if they win a Super Bowl. Like we'll still love our Bills, but like the fact that they haven't won one, it just adds to the drama so much for these
yeah,
playoff games.
right.
I mean, it, it's insane time right now, so it's special. I'm gonna enjoy it before
Yeah,
and after, but
absolutely.
I'm not complaining as a Bills fan just because we haven't won
Right.
one yet. So
Right. And at least we're not like a Chiefs situation, where, if you're a Chiefs fan, you think you literally, and you have good reason to think that your team is the new Patriots, you
yeah,
know,
it's like almost not
you
fun.
think exactly right, and it's like, wow, we're gonna win like 6 of the next 10 championships, and everybody would have agreed with you 2, 3 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
now, just in that blink of an eye, the AFC is absolutely loaded because of you, because you did that. Now the AFC is absolutely loaded,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
and now you're kind of, I mean, until they're beat. I mean, the Bengals did beat them, but they are still the under, the, the the hunted, you know, um, they're shown to be
Yeah,
otherwise. But
yeah,
for all intents and purposes, you right back in with the pack. You're no longer 10 steps ahead of everybody. The
yeah. The
Bills
division,
should have
man.
beat you
Yeah.
exactly, and then
Well,
the
that
Bengals did
division.
beat you in
Yeah,
that
I
division
mean,
as well.
that division's gonna be tough. You got the best I would imagine they do is win 4 of those 6 games against division opponents. So that's 2 games.
4 would be good.
4 would be great, right? I mean, you might do
Yeah,
worse. That's being optimistic for them or anybody in that division. So I mean, the biggest thing this year, and I think they know it, is they see that Brandon Bean and McDermott see that, and they need to get the number 1 seed this time.
they need to. You
Every
should.
playoff game in
There's
Buffalo.
absolutely because I mean, you have the perfect opportunity to do it. You were literally, well, you got the AFC West, which is an absolute like gauntlet. Like they'll probably be lucky to make it out of that division with 11 or 12 wins. You know, which I mean is really good still, but you got to play 6 games against Super Bowl competition, no matter
Mm-hmm.
who you are. And then you still got the Ravens and the Browns, obviously, well, we'll see what happens with Deshaun Watson, but the Colts just traded for Matt Ryan, so they're a little, you know what I mean? Like a little competition. The Steelers are always competition.
Yep.
I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I mean, we didn't think they'd make the playoffs last year, so who knows? Then the Bengals just went to the Super Bowl, so I guess you have to include them.
Right. I guess the
it's
Titans.
loaded. Yeah, the Titans. I guess
Yeah.
it's loaded in the AFC. So imagine being a Chiefs fan where you think that you're the next Patriots, and now you got to deal with this. Like I would be very frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shaping up to be the perfect season, man. I mean, I think they know that going the way they've done. I don't think anybody expected. We were an hour before Von Miller. Like, man, are they going to do anything? Like, what happened? We didn't another season. I guess we're just going to go in the draft and keep what we got and roll. But man, they're Bills 2.0 right now,
which is crazy because what we had was fine.
Yeah.
It was like seriously, what we had was fine, but the fact that Bean did do all this just is
wow. Yeah. The salary cap's not real, I guess. Like
it can't be. It can't be.
Like
the Bills had a really good team last year, and somehow they made it exponentially better. That's I don't know.
I mean, the Chiefs got Schuster. I don't even know who else they got, and we got
Justin Reed. But you lose Honey Badger, so
right. So I mean, I think the Bills won that head on. It was fine as far as signing, so they were already equal to the task for Super Bowl favorites. I mean, you count that division, and it's theirs to lose this year. They need to be the number 1 seed. So the pressure's on this year.
Yeah, the whole AFC West, they have to take each other out. There's no way any of them are going to be the number 1 seed for that reason.
Yeah.
The AFC North, there's no team that should be the 1 seed over us. You can say the Bengals, but I really don't believe the Bengals. I'm sorry, I'm just told. It was fluky to me.
Did you want the Rams to win because the Bengals you felt like the Bengals were too damn lucky?
Oh, yeah. Of course. I was rooting for the Rams so hard. My man Von Miller got one, so he came to us with it. So you know what I mean. But
that's gonna help too, man.
Yeah, I was rooting against the Rams so hard. I mean, against the Bengals so hard. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was so pissed at them.
Like people were like, "Oh no, I want the Patriots to win just because I don't want the Bengals to win or get the Super Bowl for Josh." I was like, "No, I don't want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl at all." So
yeah, no,
I want them to lose whenever. But
I think the Ravens are going to be take a step forward again this year too. I mean,
you think they're going to be a number 1 seed contender?
No, but I think they'll rival the Bengals for winning that division. I think those are the two teams. I think they need to. I would imagine they'll take a step ahead again instead of 2 steps back like last year. I mean, it was a rough year for them. I just can't believe in Greg Roman too much, but they'll compete. They'll compete. So it's crazy.
Let's say the NFL wants to completely alienate 60% of its fan base and lets Deshaun Watson play this year. Who do you think is the best team in the AFC North?
Man, you'd want to say the Browns, I guess. I mean, you don't want to, but you'd think the Browns, but they've proven you wrong before for believing in them, right?
Yes, they did.
I mean, if karma's anything, they're not doing shit, but they're probably on paper the favorites. I'm going to go with, I guess, the Bengals just because Burrow's pretty smooth. I mean, I could see any of those 3 getting out of there, the Browns, the Ravens,
Bengals.
Or the Bengals, yeah. I mean,
what about the Steelers?
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid division now.
Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, man, I don't know who's going to get. That's probably the biggest question mark division in the AFC to me. I mean, all those teams any of those teams could make the playoffs, and any of them could just totally miss. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I could see any of those 4 teams missing the playoffs. I could also see any of those 4 teams winning the division.
Yeah.
We play in the absolute worst division in the AFC, bar none. Like,
Yeah.
not even close.
Well,
Because
the
the
South.
Steelers are
I guess the
the
Colts are
Colts
getting better.
got better exactly with Matt Ryan, and
Yeah.
then the Titans are they're good, I guess. They're better than any other team in AFC East.
Yeah.
We should easily win, our division, which again kind of speaks to how easy it should be for us to be the 1 seed. Because
Need to
I
go
mean, I
six
don't
and
want to
zero.
say 6 easy wins, but I mean, kind of,
You can slip one,
moderate
but
to easy.
get it back. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to rival us too much. I mean, the Patriots will probably play us tough from the playoffs last year. I mean, look at the Colts this year; they squashed us because of that playoff win we had a year ago. But we also played terribly. I don't think they're going to come out and stumble as much as they did last year. COVID catching up to the offenses and the defenses kind of gaining traction back. It was an odd, most competitive year in the history of the NFL. Really, I mean, remember those last couple weeks? That was a crazy last week of football.
It was, yeah.
So I mean, I like what they're doing with the division games at the end of the year, but that just pads our stats really. I mean, if we're in a good spot by then, it's going to be over. So
over. Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
Say if we have like 3 or 4 division games to end the season, and we're at 12 wins or 11 wins or something, then yeah, you're right, absolutely. You end up with,
and probably end with the Jets or the Dolphins again.
Exactly.
I mean, if they rotate it, I guess
they'll probably give us the Patriots.
Yeah. Let's be the rotation, but
right.
When's that schedule come out? About a month now, right?
The exact schedule I don't know, but we know what teams we're playing.
Yeah, we do play the Browns. I saw that.
Yes, we do. And oh my God, I really don't like talking about it. But what do you think is going to happen with Deshaun Watson?
Oh man, I mean, I would just hate it if it was our franchise, but I mean,
oh my God, me too.
The NFL's a rough world, man. I mean, it's a cold world. He's gonna play eventually, and people are gonna forget about it because he's great. He's a great quarterback. So I think he'll eventually get the chance to play if the. I mean, right now it's only civil, right?
Yeah, it's only civil.
So, I mean,
I really hope like he's innocent, just so I can feel better about the situation. Like that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad, man.
Oh,
22 women, that's a lot of people, but
exactly, bro. That's why it's kind of like, bro, like how do you let this go on without investigating this further? Like I get it. It's a delicate situation. The timing of everything was very suspect, and etc. But it's like you are a $1 billion corporation. You are one of the most powerful corporations in the world. When something doesn't need to get out, you won't let it out. And I'm pretty sure they have resources where they could, what I mean, find stuff out or figure things out. And, it just feels like they kind of didn't, neglected to do it. And I speak about how much power the NFL, the NFL itself has, but teams have a lot of power too. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard the stories, but like there's been stories of players saying like, the team like literally dug into my entire life. Like they went and talked to, people from when I was in kindergarten and spoke to me about a suspension I had in the 3rd grade. Like they do a lot of digging, so it felt very sloppy how this was handled. And, that's very, a little disturbing, it's, it just kind of makes you, but ultimately, like I said, I'm not an investigator. I'm not a jury, whatever. I would prefer if he was innocent, and that would make me feel better about, the entire situation.
Yeah, I think we all would. I mean, the thing that I go back to is like he's finding these girls on Instagram like himself. You know what I mean? Like it's an odd situation to begin with. It's not good judgment whatsoever if you're a elite quarterback, a top 6 quarterback in the league. So I mean, if anything, bad judgment, but yeah, it doesn't look Doesn't look good.
100%.
I'm glad we're not in the dog
Bad
pound.
judgment. Just all the way around with the Browns organization is bad judgment everywhere. It's like this was such an ugly PR off season for the Cleveland Browns. That that's gonna your public reputation is gonna take an absolute hit. But I did find the opponents for this upcoming season. So before we get out of here, do you want to run through these guys and see who we think they'll win and lose against?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. So home games. I'm gonna do one home, then one away. We'll do it.
All right. Yeah, make the schedule yourself.
Cool.
Give us 5 Monday night primetime games.
Actually, you're right. Okay, all right. I'm switching this up. Okay, first game of the season is an away game. Buffalo Bills. Von Miller returns to LA.
Oh man.
Thursday night football to begin the season. The Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Rams.
So that's the opener
Who you
of the
got,
season.
Justin?
I gotta go with the Bills. That's one I could see them losing, just because they got Von Miller. Like it's also right, but I don't think they're losing 2 opening games in a row. I think they're gonna come out on fire, whoever they play. So Bills are better. 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Donald right now.
Right.
So we'll see. If he doesn't come back, that absolutely bodes well for you.
The Rams want some revenge after that back and forth that comeback game we had against the Rams 2 years ago, though. That was.
Oh yeah. Well,
Donald's going to be thinking about that one probably.
Absolutely, but I think the fact that our defensive line is now, I'm not going to say what theirs is because we don't have Aaron Donald, but we do have Ned Oliver, and he's pretty damn good. And we have a Tim Settle, and he's pretty damn good. And we have some guys on that defensive line. Jordan Phillips is good. Shaq Watson's good. And I think that energy matched with, oh my God, Greg Rousseau. I didn't mention Greg Rousseau. AJ Epinesa should be pretty decent. We're hoping he comes into his own this year. And I think having that energy with with Jordan Phillips and Shaq Lawson, the energy they bring,
with Jordan Phillips,
AJ Epinesa and Greg Rousseau, and Von Miller, it should work out well. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, 9.5 for Jordan Phillips when he was last a Bill in 2019. I mean, I think with all our signings, I was adding them up today. It's like 50 sacks since 2019 for just our new free agents, including Von Miller, but who didn't play, I think, in 2020. So, I mean, you're adding some sacks. I mean, even including the DTs that don't sack as much as the defensive ends. I mean, that's a lot more pressure that you're getting, run or pass, no doubt. Absolutely. So that's going to be big.
Absolutely. And so I feel like our defensive line is a lot better. It's going to be a lot better at attacking the quarterback as well as stopping the run. And I think we got the advantage. Like, of course, we won't have Tre'Davious White, and that's going to hurt. But they won't have Odell Beckham Jr. So,
right.
We probably won't have a guy that's going to be able to stop Cooper Kupp, which I'm fully aware of. But there's things you can do. You can double Cooper Kupp. You can shade the safety over to his side, make sure he doesn't absolutely destroy anybody worse than what he probably will already do naturally. Yeah. Oh my God, they have Allen Robinson though. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Ooh, so that might. What did you say?
I heard you say on Twitter you didn't think Trey should play for the first full quarter of the season at least. What, Thanksgiving you said? You think that's gonna? Is that you that said that?
Oh no. I absolutely said that. I think the Bills are gonna be. I think they'll be fine. I do. Like even last year when Trey got injured, Levi Wallace isn't the greatest quarterback in the world. And Dan Jackson was just fresh into the CB2 slot. It was like, just thrown on him, for the remainder of the season and playoffs. And they still continue to be the number one defense in the NFL. They still continue to be the best secondary in the NFL. So I think push come to shove, our secondary is going to be fine. Will it shut people down? Probably not, but I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to, still work well for us in terms of a bend don't break defense. And not only that, but I think having a better defensive line that's going to give the quarterback less time is also going to bode well for our secondary because, they won't be able to get, as opposed to last year where they would literally have to cover guys for 5, 6, 7 seconds sometimes, just
Right.
because our D line couldn't get there. But now they're getting there. Now they only have to,
That's a great
cover
point.
maybe for 3 or 4 seconds, hopefully, So I think that is an advantage, and of course, we have the quarterback. I don't care what defense you're going up against. We have the best defense in the NFL. So
Josh
I would love our offense against our defense, honestly.
Yeah.
So if the line can be consistent this year, the only reason we were even having our laws last year was because of the offensive line, which I think Brandon Mean is going to, address in the draft heavily and also in the second wave free agency. But if our line can be consistent this year, I don't think there's anybody that can really stop us. So, I would go with the Rams. I'm sorry, that was really long winded because we do have to get through a lot of games. But yeah, I like us, man. That Allen Robinson does scare me. So I can see it being a shootout.
I forgot about him too, man. That's gonna be a great game. I don't know if they'll open the season with a game that great. They usually pad that for November or something, October. But that would be an amazing first game.
Absolutely. All right, so our home opener is against the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice too. Wow.
I think without Devontae Adams, we got him.
Again, I don't think they're going to lose the first game at home either. So I think they're going to be focused going into the season and not have to really grow into as much as they did last year. 2-0, sure.
Yeah.
Packers are going to probably take a little step back.
They have to. There's who's the number one receiver right now? Marquez Scantling. I'm sorry, Valdez Scantling.
Yeah, I had to drop him like twice in fantasy. So
exactly, and I even if they bring in a rookie, he won't have the same chemistry that Devontae Adams had with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. All right, second away game, third game of the season. The Bills travel to Baltimore. Take on the Ravens.
Let's go 3-0. What do you think?
Yeah, same. I got the Ravens. I mean, I got the Bills over the Ravens. Yeah, I love Lamar, but
yeah,
I just think with his new defensive line, I'm fully aware that he could run away from anybody. That's not named like Tyreek Hill. He doesn't play defense. So, but I really think this defensive line is going to be like smothering, and he's going to have to move out the pocket sooner than he wants to, I believe. And I think they'll have a plan for containment.
Yeah. That's the game that D line really we're for real.
Exactly.
They could shut down that game with that kind of matchup.
Right. All right. Second home game. We got the Tennessee Titans are coming to Buffalo.
Oh, 4-0.
We've lost to them the last 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot of these tough games are revenge games from the last season or two. So when I see that, I mean, with this team and this roster and the family vibe they have together, I mean, this you don't need more motivation for this Bills team, and they're going to be hungry for the Titans, I think. So, yeah, 4-0.
Yeah. I think he's going to wash the Titans. I'm not going to lie. Like, they always get our numbers somehow, but I think we're going to wash the Titans. I really do.
Yeah.
All right. Next away game. Cincinnati Bengals.
Man,
defending AFC champions.
There has been one soft game. No division games yet. Man. I should have looked at the opponents so I could pick who they might lose to. I guess I'll give them a loss here. I really feel like the Bills are the better team, but if they're, what are we, 5-0 now? I mean, you probably got to go somewhere. So, is it in Cincinnati?
This is in Cincinnati.
Okay, I'll give Cincy this one, even though the Bills can beat them easily, but I'll give it to
See,
Cincy.
I don't believe in Cincy at all. I really don't.
I know, man.
I really don't. I know
You
it
lose
sounds bad.
you lose to teams you're not supposed to, so I'll give them.
That's true.
So you're giving them a win.
Next game. Yeah, I think the Bills are gonna win.
So we're at 6-0 for
Next
you,
game.
5-1 for me. Is that right?
We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0.
Okay, I'm 4-1. All right.
Next game, we just did the Bengals. So we have the Stephon Diggs revenge game. Minnesota Vikings at home. They come to Buffalo.
Yeah. Psh. Easy win.
And smack around Kirk Cousins a little bit.
A little bit.
But Kirk Cousins, hey man, Kirk Cousins changed the NFL. He really did. Like, he went to
contract?
Minnesota. Yeah. He went to Minnesota, got like $80 million fully guaranteed, and they were like, what? And then, from that point on, guaranteed contracts were the wave. So Kirk Cousins did change the NFL. He somehow has collected like $230 million guaranteed dollars. But hey, whatever. Good for him. But yeah, the Bills are gonna smack them around. All right, next away game. The Bills are going to Kansas City. There's no breaks here. Okay.
The Bills aren't laying down. They're gonna win that. Pretty confident.
Oh, okay. I like it. I'm going to the Bills too.
Yeah, I'm picking the damn Chiefs.
To be honest, like, I look at the Juju signing, and I just don't think Juju's that good. I don't see what he does that is like better than anything else. Anybody else can. Like, for instance, Jameson Crowder ran a 4.39 40. So even though he's 28 now, he's still fast. Like, you don't lose fastness, right? Tyreek Hill's 28. It's not. He's fast. It's just fast as fast. So I would rather have Jameson Crowder than Juju Smith-Schuster.
Never been a big Schuster fan. Obviously, I mean, dancing on logos. Yeah. I mean,
I don't like that.
Every game here that you've said so far, the Bills have added motivation. Every single one. So, I mean, that's a good thing. They're tough opponents, but there's history between every team so far that we've played at this point of the season in this schedule. But that's good. Bring it on. We're going to beat the Chiefs, though.
Absolutely. And there's some of that, added, venom in this next game as well. The New Jersey Jets come to Buffalo with Zach Wilson in the second season, and Robert Saleh, and Elijah. No, that's not even them. Who do they have?
Dude, are the Jets still an NFL franchise?
Mekhi Becton. Like, the Jets come to town. Who you got?
I got the Bills, man. I mean, hopefully it's not like a 9-0 game again, but it'll probably be closer to the end of the season finale. So, Bills big time.
I got upset city. I got New Jersey being an upset city because the Buffalo Bills just whooped their ass.
Nice.
I got you there. I got you.
Nice.
All right, next game. The Buffalo Bills are going to Soldier Field in Chicago.
Really? Oh, yeah. NFC North this year.
Yeah. You get to watch Justin Fields deal with a real NFL football team because the NFC is going to be absolute cakes this year.
Yeah. After 7 or 8 barn burners, we got a couple sleepers. But, yeah, the Bills are going to rock them. So we got one loss between the two of us so far.
Yep, just one loss.
Wow.
Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers stepping in to Highmark Stadium where they actually won last year. So they got Mr. Trubisky. It's the Mr. Trubisky revenge game. Well, not really, but you know what I mean.
Mitch is going to be pissed.
Exactly.
Yeah, another motivational added game. I mean, to me, that's a deciding factor for this team. Another win.
Yeah. I mean, Pitt defense is always nice. Oh, it is a Levi Wallace revenge game, I guess. Technically, that would be because we
Yeah,
just let him walk for essentially nothing. So,
that could help him.
um, yeah, I just don't think Levi Wallace is fast enough to keep up with.
Yeah.
And I mean, on that team, Levi would probably be checking Gabriel Davis. And not gonna lie, I could 100% see Gabriel Davis exposing Levi Wallace most of the time. I could see it.
Poor Levi
So,
or
yeah,
Crowder.
it's gonna be poor Levi. You just watching Josh Allen and Nile. All right, let's not talk too much. I like Levi.
I
So I'm not
know.
gonna go there.
Yeah.
Next up, we travel to the Meadowlands to face the New Jersey Jets again.
Oh.
Second time in like 4 weeks or 3 weeks, something like
Yeah, get him out of the way. Bills win. Not much
that.
to that
This
one.
is yeah.
Haven't played the Dolphins or the Pats. That's how they do it, though. They play like two division opponents in a row, and then they play the other ones later.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's pretty
And
accurate.
speaking of the Pats, that is next up on the schedule. Um, the New England Patriots come to Buffalo. This will probably be sometime in like November, December, based on how the schedule is working. So win game, cold game, don't really know. What's your thoughts?
I hope it's 60-mile-an-hour winds again, and we beat them 30-1 to 0. So I'm gonna go Bills.
I was gonna say something similar, yo. Like I swear, you're in my head, yo. I was thinking like I really do hope it's windy because like now our defensive line is legit. Our offensive line is better. We got a better offensive line coach coming in Aaron
Can
Kroger.
run.
We still have a quarterback who can throw through 60-mile-per-hour winds. And Stephon Diggs is never dropping that end zone pass ever again in his life. So
No.
I
That'd
think
be the
the
most
Bills are going to
fitting
stop them.
atmosphere. Oh, I would love that. Just crazy winds one more
Absolutely.
time, please.
Yeah, make them regret everything they were saying in the media last year.
All right.
Next up, the Buffalo Bills are going to travel to Detroit.
Oof.
Take on the Lions.
Dang.
Wow, the AFC North sucks. Oh my lord.
It's a nice division to play. Yeah, beats the West
Yeah,
or
it
the
is.
any
Absolutely.
other division.
Number one seed locked up, honestly.
Yeah, we're gonna win that.
Yeah, we're not about that. Like that's just gonna be. We should really like blow them out. Honestly, that should be a bad game. It really
We got like
should.
crazy awesome games and like really bad boring games coming up.
I'm cool with the bad boring games. Like, easy W, I'll take it. Now, the
Yep.
only time a boring game is bad is when you get a situation like the Jaguars, where,
Yeah.
oh my God, now it's just heartbreaking. You know what I mean? So those are the only downsides of games.
Right.
Next up, the Cleveland Browns come to Buffalo. Lake,
That's
Lake brothers and sisters or whatever they call it.
yeah. What lake are they? Not Michigan.
I
Is
think
it
they're
Michigan?
Erie.
Oh yeah, it's Erie. Duh. I don't know why, but that loss to the Browns a couple years ago is one of the losses that is, not many losses in the regular season have pissed me off more than that loss because we had it,
Yep.
we blew it. There's not a lot of Bills from that. I think it might have been 3 seasons ago now, but I don't care if Deshaun Watson's on that team or not. We're gonna take that.
I agree. And that loss does piss me off, as does the Eagles loss that year.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. We blow out the Browns. I don't care who the quarterback is. Next up, we travel to Gillette Stadium, take on the Mac Joneses. This is another situation where I can't even think of another player. Does Nelson Aguilar still play for them?
I think so. I think that's
You
like
don't have
their
Stephon
only.
Gilmore anymore. You don't have J.C. Jackson. You don't have Jonathan Hightower. Like I can't even really think of who's on their team. Calvin is gone.
I mean,
Shaq Mason's gone. I really don't know.
yeah, you'd think like this could be the spot if the season laid out this way where they could drop one to somebody, and it would make sense that the Patriots could be the one to do it. But I'm questioning if Bill Belichick is relevant like before. I don't know if, because he was so spoiled for so many years, if he knows how to coach the same way anymore. I mean, I think we're getting that answer lately, and it's no.
Yeah.
Teams don't want to sign with the Patriots just because they're the Patriots anymore. I mean, I think the Bills show them again who's boss in the AFC East.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Like the Patriots is almost kind of becoming like a Dolphin situation where it's like anytime Josh steps on the field, he just absolutely annihilates their defense, and I love it. And I hope he continues that trend because I want him to treat the AFC East how Tom Brady treated us. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope he just blows everybody out. But I could see a Bills taking an L here just because that's just how things work sometimes. But I think we got him. I think we got him.
Yeah.
Last home game of the season. Oh wow, I messed this
Going.
up.
Oh,
I
is there
messed
like
this up.
three ways to
No,
end
no,
it or
no.
something?
I got the Dolphins back to
Oh,
back.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, so that's the schedule makers will probably never do that, but I got the Dolphins back to back to end the season.
Hey.
Tua Tonga, Vailoa. I think they bring Mike Gesicki back. Devontae Parker. They got a nice little squad. Maybe sometimes they got the new coach. Mike McDaniels, I believe his name is.
Yep. Good coach. Seems like a good coach.
Yeah.
I just do not believe in Tua whatsoever. That would be two wins for the Bills. I think they're going 6-0 in the division.
Yeah, agree. I'd say you said 6-0 or 6-1.
I'm saying they're going 6-0 in the division, so they would win both games against the Dolphins, no matter when they play.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. But yeah, I agree. I think again, I just mentioned how he washes the Dolphins every time, except the one time when Charles Clay dropped the touchdown, and that will live in infamy forever. But I hope he continues that trend, and I hope he adds the Jets to that because for some reason he struggles a little against the Jets. He does. We win the games typically, but we don't always score the most points against the Jets. So I hope he adds them to his ledger of just absolutely destroying teams because we know Brady. His kryptonite issues like the Dolphins. So hopefully the Jets aren't becoming that.
Yeah, I hope we didn't sound like too much homers there. I think we got one loss between the two of us, but that'd be a magical season.
I said this last season too.
Yeah.
We'll see how things play out.
I think at least we can admit they're capable of it.
Well, we have to play one AFC West team, so okay. And we don't have to play any of the good with the Chiefs. We don't have to play any of the good AFC South teams.
It's just the AFC North, yeah. Who's a good division? We might lose an extra game there somewhere. That's why I kind of picked someone in the North.
Oh, the Bengals. You're right. You did pick the Bengals.
I don't know. I go back to if they beat us recently, I don't think the Bills are going to let it happen again. So that stacked up like 6 more wins on the season. So hopefully they use that.
Yeah, I think we'll be good. I see us getting. God, last year really humbled me because I said 17-0. I was like 14 games minimum, and then we ended up winning like what 11 and 12 or something like that. So
get a good cornerback in the draft, and it's over, man. We got this season. Just get through the playoffs. Well, man, this was super fun. Thank you for spending so much time with me. I mean, we spent an hour together. This is the first time we've gotten together like this, and
right. See, I told you, bro, you can be natural. You're perfectly fine, man.
Well, you're a great host, man. Appreciate all the topics. You spout off like nothing.
It was just a football conversation, and that's how my shows go. Like you're going to be on First Round Buy on Friday, so and this is how it is. We just talk football. That's it.
That was fun, man. Thanks so much. Yeah, I guess here's a good spot. But yeah, I look forward to Friday, man.
Absolutely.